Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nemoli Family Stadium, home of your University of Tampa Spartans. Today, the Spartans welcome the New York Institute of Technology Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem by UT student Gabby Rowe.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, here are today's lineup to give you the Bears of New York Institute of Technology, who entered today's game with a record of 1-1. Attacker, a 6-foot sophomore from Shirley, New York, number 2, Matt Murphy. Attacker, a 6-foot senior from Mount Sinai, New York, number 11, Matt Cherica. Attacker, a 6-foot senior from Cattaraugus Reservation, number 38, Leroy Hofftown. Midfielder, a 5'9" sophomore from Acapulco, New York, number 7, Austin Fitzpatrick. Midfielder, a 5'10" senior from Woodmere, New York, number 10, Shlomo Amar. Midfielder, a 6'3" senior from Hicksville, New York, number 21, Tom Brennan. Defender, a 6-foot junior from West Islip, New York, number 4, Nick Nicolosi. Midfielder, a 5'10" senior from West Islip, New York, number 6, Ian Pratt. Defender, a 6-foot sophomore from Massapequa, New York, number 25, Frank Allen. And goalkeeper, a 5'10" junior from Elmont, New York, number 23, Jake Mallon. The Bears are coached by Bill Dunn. And now, here are the starters for your University of Tampa Spartans. Record today's game with a record of 3-0. Attacker, a 5'7" sophomore from Morristown, New Jersey, number 8, Brian Ryan. Attacker, a 6'3" junior from Oakville, Ontario, number 42, Andrew Hughes. Attacker, a 5'7" sophomore from Victor, New York, number 45, Max Lambert. Midfielder, a 5'10" senior from Vail, New Jersey, number 3, Blaine Bird. Midfielder, a 6'3" senior from Lafayette, Louisiana, number 23, Luke Robido. Midfielder, a 5'6" sophomore from Berlin, Maryland, number 24, Ross Dickerson. Defender, a 6'2" senior from Madisonville, Louisiana, number 7, Luke Posner. Defender, a 6'1" junior from Weston, Connecticut, number 22, Julian Bombard. Midfielder, a 6'2" junior from Medford, New Jersey, number 50, Jack Tyrell. And goalkeeper, a 5'9" freshman from Frederick County, Maryland, number 15, P.J. Borowski. Tampa is led by head coach Rory Whipple. He's assisted by Chris Burdick, Ryan Sullivan, Connor Whipple, Peter Plasky, Pat Baldwin, and Matt Henry.
Good evening from the Nemoli Family Complex on the grounds of the University of Tampa campus. Tonight, the Tampa Spartans take on the NYIT Bears. I'm Bruce Wozniak, joined by Connor Moore, and a 3-0 Spartans team that's ranked number 5, getting ready to take on the 1-1 Bears team, who is ranked 7. And Connor, obviously a big momentum boost for UT coming in off of a victory on Sunday against number 1 Limestone.
Absolutely, Bruce. We are joined today, the New York Institute of Technology Bears, a very talented, well-coached team from the bounds of New York. However, the Tampa Spartans are a very special unit. I am just looking right now, Bruce. The depth of the bench favors the Tampa Spartans right here, and that is what wins games. The Bears are going to give up a great fight, but the Spartans, I look for them to have the depth in the end.
UT starting off going right to left, wearing their white uniform tops with red shorts, and the Bears in all blue. UT controls the opening draw, and wow, just like that, the flag flies as Ross Dickerson was taken to the ground, and this just 8 seconds into this opening quarter.
I expect this to be a very well-officiated game. There will be no excess activity on the interior. Good job by the officials keeping it clean.
UT with the game's first possession in front of a real good crowd here on this Friday night. Another terrific night here in Tampa.
Penalty, New York Institute of Technology, number 6, 30 seconds for pushing.
Against the Bears, Ian Prate.
Expect the Spartans to utilize the X in the backside of the net here with the penalty advantage.
And here they go on the opening possession. Andrew Q scores!
Terrific inside-out work by the Spartans. No doubt about it. Just penetrating with the man advantage. Goal, Spartans.
Goal, Tampa, number 42, Andrew Q, the assist to number 1, Donovan Pepsi.
Just 25 seconds into this contest. The Spartans draw first blood. And that victory on Sunday, 12-10 against number 1 Limestone, was the first time in UT men's lacrosse program history that they defeated Limestone. So a real shot in the arm for the Spartans as they try to extend their season-opening winning streak to 4. And off this face-off, following the game's first goal, they ease it back into their own end of the field. The starting goaltender for UT tonight is freshman BJ Borowski. And at the other end of the field, it's Jake Mellon between the pipes for NYIT. And we have a whistle on the far side of the field.
The amount of transfer students, Bruce, that the Spartans have is just remarkable. Donovan Dempsey, Minnesota native, great player, transfer over here. He got the assist on that play. It's amazing how well put together this team is, especially in the early part of the season. A lot of new faces, but they know how to play, and they look in mid-season form early.
Bears in possession, Andrew Zito, and catch with Austin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick shakes off a check there from Michael Lucchese. And now looking for some room. It's shot and didn't get through. It's loose. The Spartans pick it up. Luke Posner settling things down defensively for UT. He'll ease that one back to his goaltender.
Terrific defense there by the Spartans. In their grill, not giving up any ground, just playing fundamental defense, keeping the game simple.
Jack Tyrell crosses midfield and a whistle. And this will be a violation against UT, so the ball goes back to the Bears, and here they come quickly on the move. It's Andrew Zito, a pass right in front, didn't connect, and goes out, and so UT will get that one right back.
To clarify the penalty, it was an offhand check on the run by the Spartans. Refs right on it. Bears cannot capitalize. Here come the Spartans.
Just 2 minutes into this game. You just joined us, Andrew Q, with the game's only goal thus far, his 12th of the season on the power play, and now the Spartans on the run. And here's a pass to the near side, Max Lambert. Lambert, playing catch behind the net there, Brian Wright, who had a very impressive freshman season last year.
Brian Wright has just operated the Axe perfectly. They played Tuscaloosa, very good team out of Tennessee. He was just dominant. He is the X factor for this Spartans attack. Here they come on the run.
Brian Wright with 9 goals through UT's first 3 games. And there's a pass intended for Wright, didn't connect.
Right idea, could not execute. It happens. Good luck. That's the right attack. That it was open.
The Spartans turn it over as the Bears work it across midfield. No, knocked down by UT. A heads-up play there, and it's on the ground. And now picked up by Andrew Q. Q in over the Bears line. Still has it, a bounce shot, and that one goes out behind the net. Still Spartans ball.
Brian Wright doing the dirty work there, just getting the loose ball, retaining the possession for the Spartans. That's what it all comes down to.
Lambert up to Matt Vetter. Now up top, Jake Mosher McGraw. Moves it over to Connor Scanlon. Or correction, that's 30, not 10. It's Shane Hanlon, and now Andrew Q. Q surveying the offensive zone, a pass in behind the net to Brian Wright. And now they pop it out back on the other side to Hanlon. Hanlon looking to shoot, and a nice save made there by Mellon. And he outlets quickly in transition. Here come the Bears. Mike Sophia across midfield. This pass. And now Bears settle it down a bit. It's Michael Trainer with it. Down to Matt Murphy. And some personnel changes for the visitors.
Bruce, I expect to see a lot of substitutions. Very nitty-gritty game early on. Both teams not wanting to give up ground. Intense physicality over here. Wow.
Great play defensively by Luke Posner. Right in front of his own sideline. And now emerging from the pack with it is Jack Tyrell. And quickly the pass up ahead. Mosher McGraw across the line. And he's closely checked. Drops it back for Matt Vetter. UT making changes. Chris Cox steps on, and off goes Mosher McGraw. And play carries on in the meantime. As more changes. This is Donovan Dempsey. Over for Chris Cox and back to Dempsey once again. Now to Cox one more time. And here's, they start to work the perimeter to the Spartans and looking for some room. Nothing doing down there. And patiently working is Donovan Dempsey. Finally gives it up for Andrew Q. Q puts his shoulder down, takes a long shot, and that one goes out. And behind the Bears' net, it's still a UT ball.
As we mentioned, Bruce, Brian Wright just doing a great job retaining the possession again and again. And as we aforementioned, the substitutions are just really benefiting the Spartans right now. I look for them to wear the Bears out, even though the Bears have a great front line.
Right. And watched him behind the net, starts his move, has a step on his man, comes out, shoots. Well, play carries on. I'll tell you, that one looked like it hit the inside of the goalpost.
About as close gets, huh? I mean, that one was right there. Brian Wright was starting to celebrate. He thought he had that one. Turns out, no goal. Here come the Bears in transition.
I thought he had that one too, but the Bears now trailing 1-0. We're just over 6 minutes into this first quarter. And for NYIT, that's Andrew Zito. Zito looked to his left, sends it back down the other way into the corner. And now it's in behind the Spartans' net. They whip it out on the other side, all the way back up top. The Bears coming into this game off of a tough loss, 16-14 on Sunday against Merrimack, after they had opened the season, a big 16-9 victory against Mercyhurst, a couple of home games. And now they are here on the road playing Tampa tonight, and then they'll take on St. Leo, school at the St. The day after tomorrow, Sunday afternoon.
Bruce, I got to say, these officials are doing an outstanding job keeping this game in order. Both teams are very up on edge, grill to grill, ready to fight. But these officials are keeping a great job of just keeping it clean Nothing excessive over here. Here come the Spartans.
Jake Moshe McGraw going one-on-one there against Andrew Zito. Thinks he has a step, gives up the pass. Here's a shot, and he scores! Matt Vetter upstairs against Jake Mellon, and the Spartans have a 2-0 lead.
Goal Tampa, number 2, Matt
Rip it, Matt Vetter. Why not? I mean, you have a timeout we'll get to in a second, but Matt Vetter, just a terrific shot. Why not go upstairs? You have the advantage on the interior. Terrific play by the Tampa Spartans, 2-0.
And for Matt Vetter, that's his 5th goal of the season. It's 10 points, and he's in double digits
Ladies and
now.
gentlemen, as an appreciation for you coming out.
We'll give a shout out to the University of Tampa. Public address sponsor announcements. We'll start off with Walkabout Australian Cafe Bakery in South Tampa's newest delight, located at 627 South Howard. Walkabout features authentic meat pies, pastries, and down under delights. Open Tuesday through Sunday at 10 a.m. Try us, mates, at Walkabout Cafe and Bakery. Alongside Mr. Empanada, the beauty of empanada, it is simplicity. Take any of your favorite foods and imagine them inside a pocket of homemade dough that is cooked perfectly until it is golden brown and piping hot. Our empanadas are a culinary treat with 10 locations around Tampa, the city. Enjoy the flavor at Mr. Empanadas. And Tropical Smoothie Cafe. The menu boasts bold flavors, smoothies with a healthy appeal. All made to order from the freshest, healthiest ingredients. Our toasted wrap sandwiches, flatbreads, and bowls are made fresh with the quality of meats and cheeses, fresh produce, and flavorful sauces. Located at 200 North Tampa, just around the corner from the University of Tampa. Join us now. Here we go. Back in action.
Ready for the face-off. It's Ross Dickerson for UT. And the Bears are going to come out of the circle with that one. The draw is won by Shlomo Omar. And so the Bears go to work now, trailing 2-0 with 7 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in this opening quarter of play. And on the run now, it's Mike Sophia.
Bruce, this Bears unit looks very different out of the timeout. They look more aggressive. They look like they're insightful to make an attack here on the Spartans defense, what they've yet to do in the first period. Let's take a look.
Here they are up top. It's Austin Fitzpatrick. Looks to his right. Gives it to Michael Traynor. Traynor wants to go one-on-one with Blaine Birch. And the pass made. And this is about the time when, as strange as it sounds, B.J. Borowski is going to say, I'd like to get a little work here to get myself into the game. And there it is. Well, that's not the kind of work he wants to get. He would love to have made a save or two, but you go halfway through the first quarter without really being tested, and all of a sudden, the Bears put a shot behind him. So 2-1 now, Spartans with 6:22 to go in the first quarter.
As we anticipated, Bruce, that Bear unit looked different out of that time. They came in flat, but out of that timeout, they were sharp. Beautiful shot. You give credit when credit's due. Good for the Bears. 2-1. Spartans need a counter. Ross Dickerson, let's go.
Dickerson, who has done the lion's share of the face-off work for UT over the first 3 games of this season, and the Bears control that one. And back they come again. Let's see if they seize the momentum from that first goal that's brought them back to within 1.
Several substitutions for both teams. Depth, which we talk about. That's what's propelled the Spartans season long, just wearing teams out. Let's see if it benefits them here.
Zito's pass down behind the net. Chanachuk out the other side. Now up top, it's Matt Arnone. Arnone has a step, good burst of speed, and a shot that goes way wide and out of play over on the far side of the field. And a game time temperature tonight of 77 degrees, and I mentioned a real good crowd tonight spending their Friday night watching UT Lacrosse here at the Namoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex.
Thanks again to everybody joining us here on a Friday night. What's better than University of Tampa Lacrosse? One of the best teams countrywide, Division II. It does not get better than this.
Matt Murphy puts it back in for NYIT. Sends it up top. Now this is Matt Arnone again. Arnone tries that right side. Nothing there this time. Has to pass in behind the net. Bears with a prolonged possession here. And here's a shot coming up. A nice save made there by BJ Borowski. And he outlets to the far side of the field as Luke Robidoux heads up towards midfield. There's a pass that connects with Blaine Birch. And he hits the Bears line. Pass up ahead to Brian Wright. Wright had it knocked free and then regained possession. And we have a whistle.
Yeah, ref's just on edge there. Heat check. Wright retains. Go Spartans.
Donovan Dempsey for Hunter Van Horn. Now over on the near side of the field, it's Chris Cox. Cox looking back up top, still holds. Cox starts his move now, and a spin move. Can't get past the defender, Andrew Zito, and has to send a pass back up top. Hunter Van Horn wanted to pull the trigger from way outside and thought better and gives it up to Andrew Q, to Brian Wright. They cycle it back down to this side. Max Lambert to Cox once again. Chris Cox tries that move again, and Andrew Zito is not buying what Chris Cox is selling, and there's a shot. Well, Mellon made the save. Mellon got the help from the goalpost before, and this time Mellon got some help from the grass.
Yeah, Bruce, it wasn't really a save. It more just kind of appeared in front of him. Great slap shot by the Spartans to no avail. Here we go, nitty and gritty.
And there's an errant pass that doesn't connect, and so the Spartans able to take it right back over. As Lucchese heads down, Lucchese takes a shot. That one goes out. And
Spartans retain.
Stay UT possession. Down to 3:27 to go here in the opening quarter of play. 2-1. UT in the lead.
More substitutions for the Spartans. I like it. Let's get the fresh legs in there and propel this team to victory.
And up top, Shane Hanlon. Over to Matt Vetter. Vetter with a nifty move. And a shot coming, deflected, didn't get through. And that one sails over into the screen.
Sound defense by the Bears. This team does not bear down to nobody. It's going to be a hard-fought victory for the Spartans if they're able to prevail.
Shane Hanlon now. Hanlon, a pass in front, doesn't connect, intended for Brian Wright. And they'll turn it over to NYIT. With an opportunity now trailing 2-1. And ironically, it's number 21, Tom Brennan, starting it up the field. Brennan sends it all the way across. And that's Ian Prate. His goaltender, Mellon, all the way out. And now the Bears advance into the Tampa end. And Luke Posner, a little check there. The Bears able to hold on as it's sent all the way back up top. Here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, pass, and they swing it down in behind the UT net. And back out the other side. Fitzpatrick up top once again. Fitzpatrick for Mike Sophia. Sophia one-on-one with Blaine Birch. Birch chases, pass made. And this is Jason Sullivan. Sullivan under the watchful eye of Julian Bombart. And now it's here on the near side of the field. Aggressive defense by UT. Luke Posner and frustrates UR Halftown, who has to send it down in behind the net. That's Matt Chanenchuk. Chanenchuk being checked there by Jack Tyrell. And that one bounces way out, and still NYIT ball right in front of the UT sideline. As we are nearing final 60 seconds of this opening quarter, and the Bears having trouble on this possession. And now
1
there's
minute on the
1 minute
clock.
left.
Spartans raising their intensity on defense. You can see the coaches vividly talking to them, saying communicate with one another. Terrific togetherness over here. Unity is what wins championships.
There's a shot that misses and goes out. This will remain with the Bears. He's putting it back in quickly as Chanachuk pass in front, and a shot goes over top of the net and out of bounds once again.
Spartans fortunate there. The Bears call him sleeping. Luckily, shot was upside of the net. Here we go.
It's Matt Murphy. Murphy bumped, and now Robidoux a little more physical with his defense, and they have to send it back up top. Mike Sophia looking for a lane, doesn't have it, passes in behind the UT net. And now out the other side, and able to hang on was Chanachuk as the Bears try to work this around. They may not get a shot off before the quarter ends. There's only 8 seconds left. Credit the UT defense on this Bears possession. Now they cause a ground ball, and that's how the quarter's going to end. A terrific defensive possession by the Spartans, limiting the Bears from even so much as getting a shot. And so we will go into the quarter break with UT up 2-1.
Phenomenal defense by the Spartans, not giving up any ground, getting the crowd off their feet. That's the end of period 1. We'll be back in just about 100 seconds. See you then.
All right, fans, it's time for
Continuing on with the public address sponsor announcements, DP Dough. They deliver the cheesy happiness on and around campuses, including the University of Tampa. Calzones, wings, breadsticks. Order online at dpdough.com. They're open late. Moving on, we built meals, whether you're a competitive athlete wanting to tone up or just love flavorful and healthy food. Our meals are built to feed your body with proper nutrients that will fuel your active lifestyle. Enjoy fitness inspired by meal plans with rebuilt meals. Visit rebuiltmeals.com. Clean Eats, new cafe located on 3838 Neptune Avenue. They're open until 7 o'clock at night. It's not just a diet, it's a lifestyle featuring healthy sandwiches, wraps, bowls, and smoothies. It's Clean Eats. Let's get back to UT action. But Bruce.
Recapping the scoring from the first quarter, the Spartans' goals come from Andrew Q and Matt Vetter, and point visitors Michael Trainer with the lone tally. Shots on goal in that first quarter were 9-8 in favor of the home team. And face-offs were 2-2 as we get set for the face-off that will begin this second quarter. The teams, of course, have switched ends, so the Spartans now going left to right. And once again, for the Spartans, we will see Ross Dickerson stepping in to take this face-off.
Now, Bruce, I look to see what kind of tempo each team has. The first portion of the first period was dictated by the Spartans, obviously 2-0 lead. However, the second part was all Bears. They came out strong out of the timeout, and they ultimately got a lot of good looks, leading to one goal. So here come the Spartans. Let's see what they can do.
A rough go of that face-off, as ultimately the Spartans get the possession, but Ross Dickerson has his hands full in the circle tonight. And in the meantime, his teammates with the opening possession of the second quarter, as it's on the far side of the field. Now played back for Shane Hanlon to Mosher McGraw, back to Hanlon again. On the far side, that's Matt Vetter. Vetter has a step and looked to pass, changed his mind and backs out, and now sends it back for Hanlon once again. Hanlon, a pass for Q. Q looking over the offensive zone, has a lane, exploits it, shoots, scores! Andrew Q, boy, I want to see, he could have driven a bust through that lane, but it was wide open. It had a great angle, a great view of it from up here in our broadcast location.
Andrew Q on a mission out here. He has had a hot start to the season. He's not looking to end that anytime soon. He's bringing the heat. Ripping and ripping. Andrew Q.
Andrew Q, unassisted.
Opening to Andrew Q to make it pay for it as he did there with his 13th goal of the season.
The junior on a mission.
Second goal of the night comes 58 seconds into this second quarter. Now we get the face-off. And that is, in fact, Ross Dickerson once again. And he goes down as the ball is still loose. And now we get a whistle.
Yeah, refs just letting him play there. I agree. Why not? Body's flying. Both sides equally contributing to that. Let's go.
Andrew Zito's pass. Now they quickly move it down in behind the UT net and back out on the other side with Matt Murphy. That's Michael Traynor. Traynor wants to go one-on-one with Blaine Birch, has to give up the pass. And now Zito, as they work it in close to the UT net. And a long shot coming, they score! Wow. Well, Leroy Halftown gets the goal. I want to believe that Borowski was likely screened and never even saw that one.
Borowski did not really have a chance on that one. Deep penetration by the Bears. The interior defense for the Spartans, not awake that time. Borowski, he had no shot. Goal, Bears. 3-2 Spartans lead. Let's see what they can do on the ensuing faceoff.
Well, no sooner does Andrew Q restore the 2-goal Spartan lead than do the Bears answer back with one of their own. So we are back into the 1-goal game that we were at the end of the first quarter during the opening moments of the second.
It's getting chippy out there. Let's see what the refs do. There's a lot of ensuing heat. Flag is down.
Now Ronnie Scholl, where UT was being double-teamed as he neared his own sideline. And now UT has it all the way down in behind the Bears' net. That's Max Lambert back there. Lambert sending it up top with Matt Vetter, Shane Hanlon, and now Jake Mosher McGraw back to Hanlon again, and to Vetter one more time. Vetter thinks he has a step, takes a long shot, and that one goes out of play just underneath the scoreboard, and it remains UT ball as Brian Wright will put it back in.
Look for Wright to orchestrate behind the net. He's done it again and again. Here come the Spartans on the retaining possession.
Here's Shane Hanlon. To Brian Wright, directly behind the Bears net. A pass up top. Mosher McGraw, nothing there. And plays it back, an errant pass. Hanlon able to chase that one down. Hanlon across the Bears line. Pass over for Q. Andrew Q almost got past. Now he's being stick checked from behind. Carries on, scores!
Andrew Q, how do you do, sir? You are on fire. Bears defense cannot stop you.
Goal Tampa, number 42, Andrew Q, unassisted.
And as you said, he's powered past them and puts that one behind Jake Mellon. And put UT back up by 2. So Q with 3, the Spartans 4 goals so far tonight.
Andrew Q has gotten this crowd on their feet on 3 separate occasions. He's invincible. He's unstoppable. Can he be stopped? I don't know.
And Connor, he has 3 goals and we're not even a quarter and a half into this game. As UT on the run once again, Ross Dickerson is going to go all the way in behind the NYIT net. Pops out the other side and sends a long pass over to Brian Wright. Wright, as UT is going to make a personnel change with Ryan Podlovitz going off. And another change now as Dickerson comes off as well. Wright just holding it, waiting for his troops to get set. Looks to his own sideline and now starts to make his move. And Wright goes down and a flag comes out.
Rightfully so. Refs on top of it. Good call.
Clock stops 3 minutes, 55 seconds into this second quarter. And keep in mind that UT had man advantage very early on in this game and made the Bears pay for it with an Andrew Q goal.
What makes these Spartans so hard to beat is their fundamentally sound approach. This team does not get penalized when they do not need to. They are very affluent. This is a team where if you're going to beat them, you really need to beat them with skill, and they are fundamentally sound at every position. So let's see if
Penalty,
the
New York
Bears can
Institute of
chip it up.
Technology, number 46, John Flores, 1 minute.
So the penalty to the Bears, a 1 minute call against John Flores. So another extra man opportunity here for the Spartans. Let's see how they do this time as they work it quickly while the ball comes out and they battle for it. The Bears look like they picked it up. Indeed they do as they ease it back to Jake Mellon, the goaltender.
Bears not giving in. They're playing hard-fought defense. Spartans thought they could get a quick one to no avail.
Quickly up the far side of the field. So the Bears with a great opportunity here after going a man short. And they're going to use as much clock as they can now as they have it down in behind the UT net. And back out again and moved all the way up to midfield. Ryan Porter over for Michael Traynor. And now they do return to full strength to the Bears. And is a shot coming? No, they're able to ride him out behind the UT net. There's a pass out in front. A nice save made there by B.J. Borowski. And quickly the Spartans in transition. Jack Tyrell on the run. Tyrell hits the Bears line and carries on. A pass to Brian Wright. Wright in the corner now goes directly behind the NYIT net.
Spartans on the move. Such a pleasure to see. This team is so built around each other. They know what they're doing, and they have trust in one another. All that matters in a team sport.
Hunter Van Horn. Chris Cox. Now on the near side to Donovan Dempsey. Dempsey had a lane, fell down, gets back up. And Dempsey holds on, and now for Andrew Q.
Spartans aren't phased here. They're ready for whatever the defense gives them. Here they come.
And the defense was ready for Andrew Q. As there's a shot from Van Horn that goes out of play, and possession will go over to NYIT.
Good look. Coach Wibble will take that look any day of the week. Just a little bit high. Happens. Here come the Spartans in the defensive approach.
On the far side of the field, the Bears cross midfield. And a pass up ahead. It's Matt Chanenchuk. Deep in behind the UT net now. And it's back out on the other side. Andrew Zito up top. For Mike Sophia. Sophia as NYIT makes some personnel changes, and he'll go to his right and send it across before getting it right back. Sophia won one-on-one against Micah Lucchese. His pass connects now with Lenny Innamorato, and he's bumped. And they look to get it back to Innamorato. He was gone by that point. Here's Jason Sullivan carrying on, passing behind the UT net. Popping out the other side is Matt Murphy. Murphy being closely watched. Pass connects now with Innamorato. And another great defensive stand by UT.
Yeah, defense has been there all game long. Only 2 goals so far by the Spartans.
And now they score. And just credit great passing on that one. That's a tic-tac-toe play from NYIT. And with 7:24 to go in the second quarter, they cut the deficit back to 1.
No doubt about it. Give credit when credit's due. That was amazing 1-2 passing by the Bears, catching the Spartans a little bit behind on that one. Bears narrowing the deficit. 4-3 Spartan lead.
Matt Chanenchuk picks up his 4th goal of the season for the visitors. A reminder, by the way, that at halftime, the audio portion of our broadcast does go silent. Do not adjust your viewing device. Just set a timer to be back in time for the call of the 3rd quarter, but we still have more than 7 minutes left in the 2nd quarter of play.
Bruce, we knew this was going to be a good one. 4-3 Spartan lead. It's going to be a good one throughout. Stay with us.
Indeed, this Bears team, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, ranked number 7. So they're not going away anytime soon, as evidenced by the fact that they're standing toe-to-toe with the number 5 Spartans.
This team did not migrate from New York just to get a little bit of embarrassment. They came here to play, and we're seeing that live here with the Spartans.
And now, trying to step past Posner, there's a pass sent back, and it's across now, and missing, intended for Andrew Zito. So a turnover as the Spartans will work this out of their own end. It's Ronnie Scholl.
Side-to-side defense on point for the Spartans. Here they come on their own.
Borowski directing traffic. Now Luke Posner does the same and plays it back to his goaltender and back to Posner one more time. Posner pointing as he carries on. And now it's Blaine Birch. Birch double teamed there and taken down.
Refs on top of it. They'll clear it up. Timeout.
Stoppage in play with 6:07
Timeout.
in the 2nd quarter.
Let's hear a word from your sponsors, Jersey Mike's. At Jersey Mike's, we offer a sub above with the nearest location at 21 West Kennedy in Tampa. Jersey Mike's is a sub above. And the Marriott Courtyard, a courtyard by the Marriott, simply refreshing at 3805 West Cypress, Tampa, Florida. 33607 is the zip code. An official host hotel of the University of Tampa. Athletics, Pizza Hut. Everybody call Pizza Hut, 251-3399. Get your pizza delivered to UT today. And last, Pepsi. You thirsty? Grab a Pepsi. It's the official University of Tampa Spartan soft drink. Now, Bruce, let's get back to action here. 4-3, Spartans holding a lead with 6:07 here in the first half. It's been a battle of runs. What have you liked and disliked from the Spartans?
Well, UT is showing these teams that are going to come in here this season that they're going to have a tough time at this multi-family athletic and intramural complex. They're not going to get pushed around in their home field. They're going to have to contend with a team that, no matter who they lost, they've got Andrew Q leading the way and a terrific supporting cast around him. Now, at the same time, obviously, Coach Rory Whipple would like to see some other players start to get on the score sheet here, since Q has 3 of the 4 goals. But at the end of the day, as long as they have at least one more than the other team, they'll walk away with a smile on his face.
No doubt about it. Take a win however you can get it. It does not have to necessarily be pretty. A win is a win in the books. Here we go.
And play resumes following that timeout. UT starting 2 consecutive home games and back-to-back weekends. Following tonight's game, they'll be off until next week, Saturday, March 3rd, an afternoon game here at 1 o'clock. And right in front, Brian Wright scores!
Unbelievable. Brian Wright again and again. Gripping and ripping. A little fake out. You cannot stop me. 1-2 action on the run. 5-3 Spartans.
On that goal, Jake Mellon, the
Goal
goaltender,
Tampa, number 8, Brian Wright. The assist to number 30, Shane Hamlin.
intended and was just wide open. Just had to make a nice move and put it in behind the goaltender. And UT has their 2-goal lead back again. Now it'll be interesting to see if finally, Connor, if UT can get themselves a 3-goal lead. Every time they've scored, the Bears have been able to respond.
Absolutely. Keep getting it to the X. Brian Wright. I'm starting to believe he's a magician. Abracadabra. This guy is putting on tricks that nobody can understand. He faked out Jake Mellon the goalkeeper. Here we go, Spartans.
Nice job there. Ross Dickerson cleanly winning that faceoff and able to get it up ahead quickly as the Spartans have it deep in behind the Bears net now, looking for more. This is Max Lambert.
Spartans in no hurry here. They are in full control of this match. Take it easy. Get a good look.
And in fact, Lambert looked to his own sideline as Donovan Dempsey stepped on, gave it to him, and now quickly the Spartans on the move, a pass in front to right, and he's not able to control it as they turn it over, and the Bears quickly head back the other way.
Hard-nosed defense by the Bears. Spartans got their goal same way. They were ready for it. They'll have to adjust. Here come the Bears.
And they make some changes themselves as Mike Sophia has it. Sophia watches Michael Trainer step in and gives it to him. Trainer returns the favor. Sophia, a 5'10" junior from Holbrook, New York. I used to work with someone whose last name was Holbrook and was definitely not from that part of New York State. As the shot sails out of play and behind the UT net, the ball remains with NYIT.
Smart, alert, effectiveness by the Bears here. They're on the move. A little erratic pass. Here we go, Bruce.
Matt Murphy intended that for Andrew Zito, and Zito able to get there in time. And a little bump there with Joe Carey as NYIT.
What I've liked about the flow of this game is it's been physical, however, it hasn't been excessive. Ref's doing a good job. A bumper here, it's not the worst thing, but something erupt, yes.
And now they score. The Bears, wow. This team is, as I said earlier, they're not going to stop fighting just because they go down by 2. They've continued to respond and continue to do so once again.
Goal NYIT number.
But Bruce, what it comes down to is where is the top of the Spartans' defensive attack? Right there, they have a 4-2 advantage. So look at that. The Bears just doing a great job driving the motor in the driver's seat. They penetrated. No way for Borowski to stop that. They'll look to fix that here on the ensuing possession.
That goal scored by Michael Trainer. That's 2 for him so far tonight. And on the ensuing faceoff, the Bears control. So the Spartans being tested here, and I'm sure that Coach Whipple told his team it's all well and good to knock off the #1 ranked team, but you can celebrate that for maybe that evening, possibly the next day, but you have to forget about it. Lo and behold, the number 7 NYIT team that comes in here and says, now we want to knock off the #5 team.
100%, Bruce. I mean, what it comes down to is the Spartans need to be in competitive games. They need to address properly. I fully expect this unit to come back, and they know what they need to do.
A save made there by Borowski, and he hangs on to the rebound.
What is so special about this Spartans team is how again and again they've been facing entire adversity, but they know how to respond. And that's what they do again and again. Let's see if they can do it again.
Tyrell moves it up ahead to Matt Vetter. Matt Vetter, who has 1 UT goal tonight. 3 goals from Andrew Q. and 1 from Brian Wright. And that's Matt Vetter still continuing to battle on the far side of the field. And Andrew Q now scoops it up. Q shakes off a check, moves it past the head. He works it on the far side of the field, now sends it back up top. There's Jake Mosher McGraw in front of his own sideline. On the move now, has a little bit of room. And a whistle there.
Yeah, slight altercation. Refs right on top of it. Heat check. Bump. Here come the Bears.
And Connor, it'll be interesting to see here. You would think that the Bears are going to want to get one last, well, Well, now we may get a timeout. I wouldn't be surprised. I was just going to say that they're going to obviously try to get one goal before halftime. There's only 1:36 left. So clearly this is a case of where obviously Coach Bill Dunn wants to talk with his troops and get this just right.
Yeah, absolutely. Great coaching decision here. Take a timeout. Give your players some rest. They are undermanned compared to this Tampa team, which really is going to have more depth than any other team they face, just based on this bench that delivers such production. We'll see what the Bears can do out here. I look for them to come out and transition, and we will take a look.
Fans, don't forget that at halftime, the audio portion of our broadcast will go silent. Adjust your video device. There's nothing wrong with it. Just set a timer and be back in time before they call in the third quarter.
Absolutely. We'll take a look from Florida Orthopedic. Let's give a big shout out to the Dr. Selman and Gasser and Florida Orthopedic Institute and their sports medicine team for keeping our players safe and providing athletic training services and medical care to the University of Tampa student athletes. As well, we'll take a look at Legacy Production Group. It's Tampa's premier nightlife marketing company, providing weekly parties and special events. Legacy Production Group is not limited to nightlife. They also have planned charity and corporate events for many organizations. Legacy Production Group is operated by proud alumni. Here we go, back in action. 1:36 left in the half. 5-4 Spartans.
Coming out of the timeout, Bears the ball here in the person of Brian Porter. Porter on the move against Blaine Birch. Porter a pass, it's dropped, and UT able to come out of the pack with it. No, now it's dropped, and a loose ball. Let's see who gets there first. A bunch of them battle for it, 4 different players, and finally the Spartans runs out of the pack as Luke Lofadu heads up across towards the NYIT line.
Spartans in swing possession. Great ground ball. That'll lead to a Spartans timeout. Rightly so. Good work, Coach Football. We got 60 seconds left. 5-4 Spartans. Let's see what they can do. Now, Bruce, I got to say, these Spartans have been again and again faced behind their back with adversity. The Spartans are faced with a Bears team that's giving them a great fight. What do you look for them to do in terms of executing both Andrew Crew and Brian Wright, who have been so effective on the interior?
Well, this is going to be a great test because obviously that's why Coach Whipple called the timeout. He knows that now it's his turn. As you mentioned, there's 60 seconds left. The Spartans have the ball. They want to get the last goal. And this is just going to be a really good test between who's better, Andrew Q, Brian Wright, one of the Tampa goal scorers, or is it going to be the Bears' defense? So it'll be interesting to watch and see who prevails. Obviously, the Bears would love to go into the halftime break down just one. And this is a tall order, as I said. The Spartans are clearly trying to establish home field dominance here. What better way to do it than to send a message to the Bears, not in our house, try to get one late goal here.
Exactly. We have an electric crowd on hand Friday night here in late February. We're getting ready to come out of the timeout. I look for the Spartans here, Bruce, to go back to Brian Wright with the axe. A little help, maybe Andrew Q, Donovan Dempsey. Let's see what they can do with the 1-2 punch. But they have 60 seconds to make magic happen.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if on the other sideline, Coach Dunn was telling his troops, let's not forget about Brian Wright like we did on the goal that he embarrassed us with. So clearly they're going to be putting a target on the back of number 8 for UT.
You have 2 well-accredited coaches at display here. I mean, it really comes down to the players, but the coach is giving them everything they can do in terms of instruction. Let's do it.
Now on the far side of the field, it's Matt Vedder. Vedder on the run. Changes hands. Now sends it up top. Mosher McGraw. 45 seconds left. And the defender almost daring Jake Mosher McGraw to try that right side, but instead he passes it, now gets it back again. As the clock now hits 32 seconds left. In behind the net, it's Max Lambert. Lambert for Matt Vedder. Andrew Q directly in front of the net. He's watching the scoreboard as the clock ticks down. 13 seconds now. The Bears defense starting to move on both Q and right. 6 seconds. They need to get a shot off to the Spartans. It's in front and loose, and no one's going to get a shot here as the horn goes to end the first half of play.
And at the half, Tampa leads with a score of 5-4. And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the Walkabout Cafe is here serving delicious Australian delights just behind the video board in the shaded tree park area.
Back with you here at CampusBurners.tv. Bruce Wozniak joined by Connor Moore and a 5-4 Tampa lead. We get set to start the third quarter of play. Shots on goal. The first half actually favored NYIT 9-7. Faceoffs favored UT 6-5. Again, the scoring for UT, 3 goals from Andrew Q and 1 each from Brian Wright and Matt Vetter. Meanwhile, for the visitors, a pair of goals from Michael Trainer and then 1 each from Leroy Halftown and Matt Chanenchuk. And here we go with quarter number 3. And wow, a battle in there. As this was Alex Patton taking the face-off for the Spartans this time. After Connor, we saw in the first half the overwhelming majority of the face-offs taken by Ross Dickerson for UT, so Coach Whipple changing it up to start the second half.
Yeah, interesting adjustment here by the Spartans, looking for them to establish some sort of tempo that the Bears are not used to. I like it. Let's see. They were pretty predictable in the first half, but here we're seeing a very different Spartans unit.
And here's the Bears with the opening possession of the second half. Andrew Zito, whose name has been called quite a bit tonight. Zito worked over, able to hang on as a pair of threes head back in behind the UT net. Now Zito pops back out again. And now this is Matt Murphy on the other side. Murphy to the far side to Austin Fitzpatrick. He's being checked closely there by Julian Bombart. And on the run, being bumped, it was Mike Sophia. And here's Chanenchuk. Chanenchuk shakes off a check from Jack Tyrell. And Austin Fitzpatrick. There's that close checking of the Tampa defense again.
Yep, absolutely. Hard nose up in your grill. You're not going to get anywhere with that Spartan defense. Lockdown over here. Here come the Bears.
And that's Andrew Zito putting it back into play. Tries to dance around Blaine Birch. They send it all the way up top. A long shot coming. They score.
Bounce shot there. A little excessive exaggeration there for the Bears, but hey, why not? 5-5. Spartans are going to need to answer here, Bruce. This is a very good game. We knew it coming in. The Bears putting up a prolific fight. They are exaggerating on the bench.
Leroy Halftown, the senior from up on the Cattaraugus Reservation, with the second goal of the game. And we now have a 5-5 tie, 1 minute and 38 seconds into this third quarter. Austin Fitzpatrick picking up the assist.
Yeah, midway through the first period, all smiles for the Spartans. Up 2-0, felt like any other game. But hey, the Bears came from New York ready to play. They are now just going to roll over. So the Spartans are bringing a little aggression here. Let's do it.
Halftown survived a collision there with Blaine Birch. And now the pass into the corner. Chanenchuk sends it over to the far side. Up top with it, Matt Arnone. Arnone on the run. Over to Michael Trainer. Trainer going one-on-one with Blaine Birch. Nice job by Birch to stay with him. Birch with some aggressive defense. And Trainer looked like he wanted to get the shot off, and finally Birch got the best of him as they push that one over. Now here's a shot coming for the Bears, and a nice save made there by Borowski.
The freshman, Borowski, playing hard-nosed D, ready for it on the bounce.
Opportunity now for the Spartans. And let's see, Connor, if UT can respond the way that the Bears have. Every time UT was scoring, the Bears were answering back. So now that the Bears have knotted this at 5-5, let's see what the Spartans have up their sleeve offensively.
We talked about it again and again, Bruce, in the pregame. Who will assert the tempo? The Spartans need to get the X involved. When they get Brian right there, it's so fluent, it's magical, and what they do is pure chemistry. Let's see if they go back to that. That was what was working for them in the first period.
Shane Hanlon with it now. some reason, I keep thinking of Shane Conlon, who used to play for the Buffalo Bills back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shot that goes out of play. And so the Bears will get it right back. A short-lived possession for UT there.
Yeah, in and out. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, we've only been playing less than 4 minutes, but the Bears definitely have more of an assertiveness out here, and the Spartans need to answer that energy. I think they will. The coaches are doing a good job of really laying out the message.
And looking like a situation where would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the halftime conversations. And as you mentioned, give credit to the Bears, the way that they've come out so far to start this second half. Bill Dunn, let's just say, oh!
Off the pipe.
Wow. We saw in the first half the goaltender's best friend, the goalpost, helping out Jake Mellon. In that case, wow, Borowski gets some help from the pipe.
It's a matter of inches, Bruce. It's a matter of inches. Like any sport, a few inches can determine a game. Here come the Spartans.
Better with a bounce shot. That one's going to go out of play, and that will still be UT ball. Really impressed with the crowd here tonight. So good to see the way that this Spartans team has been supported. And the support has grown year after year, and they're really out in large numbers tonight. As UT trying to go 4-0 to start this 2018 season.
No doubt, Bruce. And like any sport, when you're playing really well, people want to see you play. So, not to discredit any teams that, maybe have a losing record, they don't have good crowds, but this Spartans lacrosse team comes to play game in and game out, and people want to see it. Who doesn't? This is an electric crowd right here, and I like for the Spartans to really build off the loudness and the real intensity of this crowd.
And that being said, if you are watching our broadcast instead of here in person, I always encourage the fans that are in West Central Florida to come out and support the team in person. If you can't, thank you for watching us on TampaSpartans.tv. In particular, those of you who are watching from an NYIT perspective, glad you could be with us on this Friday night as your team has the ball in the Tampa end of the field and they work it in behind the UT net. And now a pass back up top for Zito.
To go off what you said, Bruce, about the New York fan base, I'm a New York born and raised Westchester folk, so it's a little bittersweet. I'm a Spartan fan when it comes down to it, but I like my home ties in New York as well, so I'm happy to see them putting up a fight, but hey, let's go Spartans.
A shot by Jeremiah Sullivan, that went out of play, and so the Bears put it back in from the corner. It's Matt Chanenchuk. Leaves it there behind the net. Bears, they pop out the other side. And pressure being applied by Luke Robidoux. And is he able to force a turnover? It's loose. And for the battle for it, the Bears come out of the pack with it. A good defense there by Luke Robidoux, a senior, 6'3", 200 pounds, from Lafayette, Louisiana. Some Cajun grit in that UT defense as the ball goes out and behind the UT net. And the Bears put it back in once again. And that's Chanenchuk. The shot, Borowski stopped it and now controls the rebound. Watch out, he'll be chased. Borowski needs help.
Nifty footwork by Borowski there, Bruce. He's coming out of the net. He's looking like a defender in himself. He's making a crossover move, passing it back. How about that for the freshman?
This is Blaine Birch now, as UT will make some changes. I see Ryan Podlovitz heading off the field for the Spartans, and out steps Donovan Dempsey.
Ryan Paz putting in good work there for the Spartans.
Blaine Birch is going to head off as well. And out steps Hunter Van Horn. And one more change as Shane Hanlon steps off. And now here come the Spartans on the move offensively in behind the net. Pass up top for Van Horn. Van Horn, his pass connects. Over on the other side of the field, that's Donovan Dempsey. Over to Cox. Back to Dempsey once again. Dempsey shakes off a check. Backs up. And now gives it to Andrew Q.
Applied pressure here by the Bears. They're very up in the grill of the Spartans. A little different defensive tactic here. Let's take a look at what the Spartans can do with this different approach.
Chris Cox was one-on-one, has a step, and takes it all the way down behind the Bears' net. Max Lambert up for Van Horn. Back to Lambert again. Max Lambert is going to head towards the corner now, in behind the Bears' net. Stops. Brian Wright is back there as well. A pass up top. Quickly they move it over to Q. Andrew Q barrels his way down the slot, and that one's going to go out of play. And possession will remain with the Spartans.
Doesn't show up in the stats sheet, Bruce, but that was just a pure effort play there by the Spartans retaining the possession.
And that's Brian Wright all the way over on the far side of the field. And Wright starts his move, and he's thinking, oh, catches a stick.
Flag
Around
flies.
the face mask.
Excessive hit to the face. Oh, there's 2 flags out. The refs are on top of it. We will get a call momentarily.
And this comes with 5:56 to go in the third quarter.
Man advantage now for the Spartans. Interesting to see if it will be a 30 or a 60-second penalty here for the excessive hit. We'll take a look here in the brief intermission. Crown Plaza, State Crown Plaza Hotels and Resorts. It's the place to meet. Along with the Marts, the official chariot of the Spartans, is Mart's first-class coach. If you need a charter, bus, go online at www.martsfirstclass.com. Let's get ready to resume action. Man advantage for the Spartans.
And that comes courtesy.
Penalty, NYIT, number 3, Andrew Zito, 30 seconds, and number 21, Tom Brennan, 1 minute for slashing.
Calls. Tom Brennan, a 1-minute slashing penalty. And then Andrew Zito allows a 30-second as the Spartans quickly get to work, and a shot coming, they score!
Grip it and rip it! Spartans, but Brewers getting back to the point before. Outstanding work by the officials. I was not sure if they were going to catch the second slash there. I saw the first, and it was an outstanding, quick, on-the-fly call. Any less, Spartans 6-5.
Goal Tampa, number 42, Andrew Q.
And is it any surprise, as Andrew Q, how do you do? This man cannot be stopped. He is unstoppable.
I thought that was Jake Wilshire overall. I thought I saw 14. Wait to see if they change that. But for the time being, we're saying Andrew Q's fourth goal of the game. I'm going to wait and see because I was sure as my name is Bruce that was 14 and not 42.
Anyhow, Bruce, here come the Spartans on the advantage again. We still have a late man advantage here. If we can get to 7-5, that would be monumental for the Spartans because this is a nitty-gritty Bear defense, but with a man down, this will be interesting to see if the Spartans can capitalize.
So here is UT. And a long shot coming from Moshe McGraw.
Wright's got it on the behind. Here they come, retaining the possession.
UT looking to get a shot. There's 2 men collapsing for the Bears on Shane Hanlon. And the Spartans able to hang on as they move it into the corner. Ryan Wright over here to Matt Vetter. Vetter was looking shot, sends it back. Now gets it right back again. Vetter's on the move in front and scores!
Beautiful side-to-side ball movement. It's simple. You move the ball around, you get the defense off guard, and you're going to be in a good position to score. Here come the Spartans, 7-5, looking to wear down teams as they've done throughout the first beginning part of the season.
So Matt Vetter playing a nice game of give and go there with Jake Moshe McGraw. So Vetter gets the goal, Moshe McGraw gets the assist, and in fact they have changed the previous goal. They did, in fact, give it to Jake Motion McGraw, not to Andrew Q. And it all translates into a 7-5 UT lead with 4:27 to go here in the third quarter. So despite how strong the Bears came out to start this second half, it's gone for naught because they tied it up, and UT has left them in the rearview mirror with restoring their 2-goal lead.
Absolutely, Bruce. And what it came down to was the 2 penalties. Those 60 seconds really alternated the entire fixation of the game. It was that man down differential just really destroyed the heart of the Bear defense in that sequence. And credit the Spartans. They came in ready to attack. They were not fooling around out there. They brought the heat, and now they hold a 2-goal advantage.
Matt Murphy as the Bears. As we'll watch Connor to see if NYIT can answer back again, as they have several times in this game. Oh, a nice save there by Borowski. Or if the Spartans can finally get their first 3-goal lead of the contest.
No doubt about it, Bruce. I mean, this is a very resilient Bears squad, so I'm going to say that this team is going to not give in. They're going to retaliate. However, the Spartans do have the momentum, and you always have to look at who's got the upper hand, you know. And it seems like at the moment the Spartans do, but this is a very well-coached Bear unit, so I expect a great finish for the end here.
Well, and then watching and calling games for this team over the past several years, UT has a tendency of when they get an opponent down, they smell blood in the water. They really go on the attack, and I think that's the posture that Coach Whipple would like to see his team take now.
No mercy.
Put some distance between them and this Bears team. And there's a shot coming, and a save made there. And that one's going to roll out of play.
That's the look they want, though, Bruce. That's a perfect look. It was just a little bit left. I mean, that's the shot that they want to get game in and game out. That was a great look, and here they come on the attack again.
Chris Cox scores! A long outside shot from Chris Cox, and there is that 3-goal lead.
Yeah, Bruce, I mean, it's pretty simple. We just mentioned it before. They got the look they wanted. They missed a little left the first time. Come back, same attack, put it right on the money. It doesn't get any easier than that. And the Spartans know what they were doing. They've been here time in and time out. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and that's why the crowd's on their feet.
Chris Cox with his first goal of the season. This comes with 2:26 to go. Chris Cox, a sophomore from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Gruber, Chris Cox joined the party over here. His first goal of the season. Good for you, sophomore.
Possession to UT. And this one could really have the Bears on their heels.
Well,
UT puts it in.
In any sport here, it comes down to whether or not a team is going to kind of give in and to kind of accept defeat or the retaliation. The Spartans can really put their foot on the doorstep here and accelerate themselves to victory. It'll be interesting to see the Bears put up a fight, which I expect they will here.
Donovan Dempsey on the far side of the field, down to Brian Wright, back to Dempsey again, and now up top to Hunter Van Horn. To Dempsey on the move, leaves it for Q, and up top with Van Horn once again. There's Chris Cox, the goal scorer, taking a shot that was deflected and caught back there by one of his teammates. So UT keeping the ball moving, working the perimeter as Q puts it up top to Van Horn and gets it back from Cox, and now back to Chris Cox once again. Let's see, as you said, how the Bears respond to adversity in the form of what is now a 3-goal deficit against the number 5 ranked Tampa Spartans.
Yeah, Bruce, I mean, the Bears can really ill afford to allow another goal here. Got to play fundamental defense, which they are, not giving in. Spartans getting good looks. Going to keep chipping away with just under 70 seconds left in the third period.
Yeah, on that shot there, Chris Cox was feeling good after scoring that goal. Thought he had a lane
1 minute on the
just
clock.
a little bit wide. But UT still in possession. And on the move now, Dempsey. Dempsey looks behind the net, has Brian Wright back there. And pops out over on the other side with Max Lambert to right. They go back to the other side again. Q up top to Van Horn. Working it around. Van Horn up top once again. Dempsey pushes it into the corner. Brian Wright, 35 seconds left. And they didn't have success with this at the end of the first half, Connor, when UT was trying to get a shot off, as they're obviously trying to do here. Let's see how they do with these final 21 seconds.
No doubt about it. It's crunch time here. You got 17 seconds, basically, one-on-one matchup. Let's see if they can make it happen. This is a learning process here for the Spartans. Let's see.
This could be a real backbreaker as Wright.
There's the flag.
And another flag comes out, and play stops with 5.8 seconds left. Let's see what the call is going to be here.
Now, viewers, this is going to be important because this penalty will carry over to the next period. So whether it's a 30-second or a 60-second, it will carry over. Very important for the Spartans. It was a great look. He got double-teamed. He got hit in the head. The ref's right on top of it. We'll hear the call.
And the Bears, all the penalties called so far tonight have been against NYIT, and the Bears are going to pick up yet another.
Yeah, 60-seconder over here. That's going to be important. I mean, we have 1 second here, so that'll conclude the third period. But there will be 55 seconds of the penalty on the ensuing period here as we start the fourth momentarily.
Tom Brennan, 1 minute for illegal body check.
1 minute illegal body check call against Tom Brennan.
And in the 3 quarters, Capital B, 8 to 5.
But when we resume, UT will still have 55 seconds left on that man-up situation, and they currently lead 8-5.
Definitely something to look forward to over here, Bruce. Let's take a look at the campus bookstore. Our Barnes and Noble campus bookstore. It has everything in UT in one place, and it's located in the Vaughn Center, the first floor. And it's open Monday through Saturday, or you can shop online at www.utampa.bncollege.com. The Press Box, Walter's Press Box, is Tampa's favorite place to watch the big game. And hey, party. The Press Box, 222 Southdale Mabry. See you there. Embassy Suites downtown, right in the heart of downtown. It's just a few blocks from campus. Come stay in luxury at Embassy Suites, 513 South Florida Avenue, Tampa. And Maestro Subaru, your trusted Tampa Subaru dealer. Maestro Subaru, 6402 West Hillsborough Avenue. Hi, Maestro Subaru. Our reputation, it rides with you. Now back on to Bruce. We're getting ready to start the fourth period of a 3-goal, 8-5 Tampa Bay Bruce. How great has this Tampa team been?
They've been terrific, and keep in mind, viewers, that the Spartans trying to stay perfect to start this 2018 season, a 3-0 record coming into tonight's game in the number 5 ranking against a 1-1 Bears team that was looking to bounce back after having opened the season with a victory. We're coming off a 16-14 defeat at the hands of Merrimack on Sunday, and now they find themselves down by 3 and trailing by 3 for the first time in this game. So this is a crucial moment because, as we mentioned, the fourth quarter is about to resume. There is still 55 seconds left in that NYIT penalty.
No doubt about it. And Bruce, we're talking about it since the intermission. You do have this 55-second ensuing man-up penalty for the Spartans. Let's see what they can do on the attack. It will be interesting to see what formation they come out in. They're going right to the actual Brian Wright, working it side to side.
And up for Moshe McGraw. Top to Vetter, back to Moshe McGraw again to Wright. Moshe McGraw looks at the scoreboard, gives it to Brian Wright. And pass fired down to Andrew Pugh, and that one sails high and out of play.
Sky high there.
The Spartans will retain possession. Still 33 seconds on the extra man situation as it's put into play over on the far side of the field. Matt Vetter has 2 goals in this game. Jake Moshe McGraw with the pass to Brian Wright. Moshe McGraw looking to pull the trigger. Q. And they try to get it down, and now it bounces to Wright. A shot coming from Andrew Q. And a save made there by Jake Mellon. And that will wipe out the Bears penalty as the final seconds tick off, and NYIT is back at full strength.
Full slate here for the Bears. Down by 3, less than 14 to go. They need answers quickly. Spartans' defensive mentality is very weak right now. I think the Spartans are in a more of a defensive set, which they should be in because they're in the last period. So I like what the Spartans are doing here. They're going to make it very difficult right there. It's getting chippy, but the Spartans prevail. The ref's letting him play. We do have a late whistle. We do have a late whistle. Okay.
I was going to mention that the Spartans coach Rory Whipple has to be pleased with his goaltender, who has settled down B.J. Borowski with 8 saves so far in this game. And at the other end of the field, Jake Mellon with half that total, as the Bears have the ball here.
What I like, though, is the Spartans coaches were very appreciative of that penalty. It was more of a flaky call. I mean, okay, he got hit, but you want to be aggressive. That's what it all like. If you're going to be aggressive here, that's what it all comes down to. So a penalty, it's not the end of the world. Here come the Bears.
And they score. Like Sophia, bouncing that one past Borowski. So 8-6
Goal,
now.
New York Institute of Technology, number 9, Mike Sophia, unassisted.
This game is not over yet, and it's starting to become clear to the Spartans. They need to finish this one out. We knew from the beginning that the Bears were going to play until the final whistle. We're getting ready for the ensuing face-off. Let's see if the Spartans retaliate with the energy they had in the second period.
For Mike Sophia, that's his 4th goal of the season. So, Bears, with their 4th different goal scorer of the night. And quickly on the ensuing faceoff, the Spartans with a great opportunity here, a shot that goes out of play. And is a nice attempt by Ross Dickerson. The Spartans do retain possession as Brian Wright puts it back in behind the NYIT net. As UT makes some personnel changes. And Wright plays catch with Andrew Q. Andrew Q with 3 goals, leading all scorers in this game. Pass up top now for Shane Hanlon to Moshe McGraw. The other side of the field, that's Matt Vetter. Vetter has room, takes a shot, and a nice save made there by Mellon. And he holds on. And watch out, Brian Wright there to check him, but the outlet to the far side of the field. Exactly 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
I think the key here is just for the Spartans to play within themselves. So they have a 2-goal advantage. There is no need to panic. Things are getting a little bit chippy out there, rightfully so. At this point of any game, it's going to get a little bit physical. The Spartans have been there time in and time out. I look for them to amp up the intensity. Let's play. Let's finish this one out, guys.
For the Bears, this is Mike Sophia, the goal scorer. And Jason Sullivan. Sullivan has a step, a pass, a shot, they score! Well, as I keep saying throughout the broadcast, the Bears are not going to go away, and they prove it there with a goal 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
NYIT, number 3, Andrew Zito, the assist to number 12, Jason Sullivan.
We knew from the beginning that this team was going to put up a fight. It will come down to the final moments of this game, so it's a good test for the Spartans here. You know, their backs are up against the wall. They have to play through adversity, and this is a real good test for them here in the early stages of the season. Obviously, they're undefeated, but this is one they're going to have to grind out. It doesn't necessarily have to be pretty, but they need to win the ground balls. They need to deliver the important heat checks. Let's see what they can do.
He said that was Zito's first goal of the game because it took until the 4th quarter for him to get into the goal column. He came into tonight's game tied for the team lead with 6 goals in just 2 games. And he brings the Bears to within 1. And NYIT with the ball now again.
As we mentioned before, we talked about the Spartans coming into the 4th quarter with a defensive mindset. That has quickly erased after conceding 2 goals. Now they need to be aggressive. They need to amp up their intensity. They need to look to score to propel themselves.
Jason Sullivan, pass over to Sophia. Sophia has a step, takes a shot, and that one goes out. This will stay NYIT ball. As back there to put it back in is Matt Chanenchuk. Chanenchuk brings it up, sends a pass up top. And directing traffic, Leroy Halftown, who, by the way, was the other player that came in tied for the Bears' goal-scoring lead, has a shot. Loose ball, and the Spartans come away with it.
Magnificent save right there by Borowski, going all out, giving his body up for sacrifice. He gets the stop. Spartans clear, and now they have the fast break opportunity. Here we go on transition.
Blaine Birch, as we try to get used to not seeing Connor Whipple up there wearing number 3. Of course, he's now on the coaching staff with his dad.
As a player, there's nothing better. A player like Connor Whipple, who has been such an accreditation to this team, having him giving you advice just means everything as a player. And to have him on the coaching staff of what's already a truly beautiful and trustworthy staff, to have that addition just means the world. And this team is so well put together.
He's flying everywhere, and finally, Brian Wright gained possession. Nobody was able to pick that up for the longest time, and the Spartans come out of the pack with it. And so Wright settles things down, holding on to it in the far corner, and now sends a pass up to Hunter Van Horn. Van Horn directing Andrew Q. And now Horn starts his move. Hunter Van Horn takes a shot, and a save made there by Mellon, and Hunter Van Horn gets his own rebound and controls on the far side of the field.
Slightly unorthodox, but Spartans retain. Here we go, 8:45 on the run, needing another goal to give them a more comfortable lead.
Bruce Wozniak here along with Connor Moore. We are at the Namoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex on the grounds of the University of Tampa campus, and the home team with an 8-7 lead as Brian Wright makes his move towards the net, comes around the other side. Another defender collapses on him. Wright persistent, and now finally gives it up for Hunter Van Horn. Van Horn, he's going to try the other side. Pass back instead for Andrew Q. Q looking over the zone, finds an opening, scores!
Is somebody going to stop him? I don't think so. This man is on fire. How do you do, Gribbin and Rippin? Andrew Q, the junior. What a night. Friday night is Andrew Q's night, apparently.
An unassisted goal. He sends that one into the top corner over the left shoulder of goaltender Jake Mellon. And the Spartans a little bit of breathing room as Q, with his 4th goal of the night, puts UT into a 9-7 lead with 8:07 to go. And another important face-off coming up here as Ross Dickerson goes out there to do the honors for the home team. And it's won, however, by Shlomo Amar, and he'll take it himself and sends it up ahead as Amar goes off the field. Matt Murphy received the pass and holds on, and now gives it up for Andrew Zito.
Now, Bruce, as enjoyable as that goal was, I love what the coaching staff of the Spartans, it's strict business here. We have a 2-goal lead. We need to finish this one out. They are ready to play defense. That's what they did here. Here come the Spartans on the move.
An important stop down at the other end by Borowski, which begs the question, is there such a thing as a stop that's not important? But at the same time, the necklines might be getting a little tight around the jerseys of some of these players, so it's time to separate the men from the boys, as they say, and if that perfect record is going to stay intact, if that number 5 ranking is to improve, this is a big test for the Spartans tonight. There's a long shot coming, and a stop made there by Mellon off the stick of Jake Moshe McGraw.
To go off your point, Bruce, men to boys, it's so simple. And to anybody that's not familiar with lacrosse, this game comes so much down to possessions. The extra looks, the extra shots, the extra ways to access and hold and clock other teams. That's what it all comes down to, and that's what, in this moment, 6:30 left to play, 2-goal lead for Tampa. It'll be interesting to see what they can do.
Tampa's going to get the ball back. I don't want to say they catch a break, but maybe the momentum has tipped the field in UT's favor as Jack Tyrell advances across midfield. Tyrell hits the Bears line. Now up ahead to Brian Wright. Wright underneath what would be the shadow of the scoreboard if this were an afternoon game, as Andrew Q takes over and gives it right back to him. Brian Wright, one of Tampa's 9 goals so far tonight. Wright on the move now, a good burst. Opts out the other side and opts to outlet back to his teammate, Shane Hanlon. And now Tampa working at his motion. McGraw has it over to Andrew Q. Q, that one just misses and goes out of play. This will still be the Spartans' ball. Andrew Q wanted number 5.
You can tell it's Andrew Q's night when he's off, and it still is just a matter of inches from going in. That was not the best, per se, shot, but it was right on the money, and he's been electric all night. I mean, he's just put a display on for this Tampa crowd.
This is Q once again. Draws 2 defenders, and someone's open. And he finds him. That was Shane Hanlon. And Hanlon sends it over for Matt Vetter. Up top to Q. Inside, motion, McGraw scores! Through the 5-hole, past Jake Allen. UT back into their 3-goal lead. It sounds like a football score, 10-7 with 5:10 left in the
Tampa.
It is a football score. How about the Spartans? A little scoop shot. Masha McGraw, the sophomore. How magnificent was that, folks? That was pure beauty. And now the Spartans are sitting in the driver's seat. 5:10 to play, holding a firm 3-goal lead. Now, they just can't give in. They have to play firm defense, as the coaching staff always says, play till the last whistle.
Andrew Q picked up the assist. Jake Mosher McGraw has himself a nice little 4-point night, 2 goals, 2 assists, and there's one that's going to roll right to Borowski. And that might be another case, Connor, as I said before, perhaps Lady Luck tilting the field a little bit in the Spartans' favor, that one was a gift, rolling right to Borowski and able to start the Spartans back the other way once again.
Yeah, from the naked eye, it didn't seem what it could be. And Borowski didn't see it until the last second. It was right in front of him. He fortunately scooped it up, and now the Spartans need to utilize clock.
Almost looked like a ground ball back to the pitcher.
Absolutely. Instant reaction there.
Here is UT in possession once again, Hunter Van Horn.
This is where the Spartans needed to utilize clock. 4:20. There's no urgency. There's no rush. Go through your progressions. Take it easy, and let's get a good look late in the shot clock.
And now on the far side of the field, Chris Cox, who has a goal tonight for the Spartans. And behind the net, Brian Wright. Other side to Cox. Looks up top for Hunter Van Horn, decides to keep it. And now Cox being checked enough there by Brian Porter that they move it back up top. Van Horn will try Cox once again.
Yeah, the coaching staff for the Bears want them to apply pressure here. I mean, give credit to the Spartans because there's sub 4 minutes left here with a 3-goal lead. They're in the driver's seat. They need to let the game come to them. There's no rush.
Andrew Q's shot sailed high and out of bounds. And this one, possession to the Bears, but trouble advancing it across midfield. Now they control it as Brian Porter takes it across the Tampa line. Matt Shannonchuk. A long shot coming, and that one goes out of play. Possession still with NYIT. Changes coming here as Hunter Van Horn goes off, and Michael Lucchese is a replacement. As the clock winding down, the Bears looking to get something here, and now we're going to have a flag. It looks like
3 flags out actually now. We will get word on this momentarily. But there's a goal for the Bears. But hang on a sec, folks. Let's get clarification.
The clock stops with 2:55 remaining. And a Bears goal that cuts the score to 10-8.
Goal.
It's been the same thing all game, Bruce. Just when the Spartans get comfortable, the Bears come striking right back.
And a goal scored by Andrew Zito, his second goal of the game. And you'll recall that I mentioned that it took until the fourth quarter for him to get his first goal of the night, and now all of a sudden he has two. Came into tonight's game tied with Leroy Halftown for the goal lead.
Penalty, Tampa, number 7, Luke Posner, 2 minutes.
Now, in the meantime, we're going to get a call for UT against Luke Posner.
Yeah, 2 fouls here.
1 minute cross-check penalty and then an additional 1 minute penalty. So the Spartans not only see their lead reduced to 2 goals, but Luke Posner was off for 2 minutes.
And what's very worrisome is 2 minutes, there's only 3 minutes left. So for a good portion of the rest of this contest, the Bears are going to have an advantage, only down by 2 goals. Spartans need to be sound on the defensive end.
As the Bears work the perimeter of the UT zone, it's up top with Jason Sullivan. Now a quick pass over. Down in behind the UT net. In front, and a save made there by Borowski. Able to hold on to the rebound.
Web gem material there. Borowski, the freshman, coming up big, putting the team on his back.
And so UT heading back the other way with designs on killing as much clock as they can, as we are down to 1:55 on the game clock and a minute left on the Luke Posner penalties.
Spartans trying to keep the game simple in their hands, keeping it under control, their tempo. They have a $1:40 to play. Here we go.
Brian Wright takes it all the way down behind the Bears net. Ups out the other side, and as I said, in no hurry whatsoever. Posner, 35 seconds left.
The Bears bench is vivid. They want some intensity. The clock is running out. Spartans, they have nothing to do. They're running around just clocking it at this point.
And in fact, the goaltender, Jake Mellon, chasing back there. And now a turnover caused by the Bears with 1:05 left.
And we're gonna have a timeout. Timeout by the Bears.
And boy, it looks like the referee is catching an earful.
Yes, the Bears sideline wanted the timeout to be called earlier. It was a few seconds later than they had wished. However, we still sit at 63 seconds, Bruce, and the Spartans are in control here. They just need to play good defense, and they should be okay.
Well, and they have to take solace in the fact that, as we've seen in these last few minutes, B.J. Borowski has really come up big for them. So although he's the last line of defense, you want the guys in front to not even let a shot get through. As we've seen the Spartans do during this game, they can rest assured that Borowski is up to the task, as he has shown here, which, you know, for a freshman goaltender, this is a really good test for him. It's only the 4th game of the season, and already he's in a tight game. It doesn't matter that it's at home. It's against the number 7 ranked team. So this is a big moment for him here, and something that he and the Spartans can build from, provided that they can lock things down defensively for these remaining 63 seconds.
And this is why it's so important for the Spartans. They need to be tested like this. This is where in a timeout they go through their progressions. It's nothing about what to do and what not to do. It's just, if you see this, do that. If you don't get that read, or if someone sets a screen on you, handle it this way. It's just basic, and the Spartans have great communication with one another, and that is what separates them from a traditional team. The trust and unity they have with one another is so
1 minute on the clock.
For Luke Posner, just 3 seconds left. So the Spartans, well, there's 2 seconds left now, but the Spartans are going to be successful in killing off those 2 minutes of penalties that were called against Posner. As there you go, even strength now. And they score! The Bears Well, hold on. Things get interesting now. 49.3 seconds left. And just as Tampa came back to full strength, NYIT able to cut
Goal
the deficit to 1.
NYIT number 38.
There's a transition error there. As you mentioned, Bruce Posner was coming out of the box, so the Spartans weren't quite clearly sure. And the Bears came at them with a nitty-gritty 1-2 punch from behind. They got him from the X, and they delivered a blow when the Spartans weren't quite ready for that.
Leroy halftime is 30 over the game. This, folks, is why faceoffs are so crucial. Because right now there's an opportunity for UT to win this faceoff and control the ball as it still sits there in the circle, and 6 of them battle for it. And let's see who's going to come out of the pack with it. It's going to be the Bears.
Well, Bruce, we got a ball game. 35 seconds to go. 1-goal advantage. Spartans, play some D, and let's hold it. Another timeout by the Bears.
Timeout NYIT.
And I've preached on so many broadcasts for so many years of Tampa Spartans lacrosse. That's why loose balls are important. That's why faceoffs are important, because they result in an additional possession for your team. We see it there, and what a shot in the arm it is for the visitors as they get an opportunity with 33.4 seconds left here to talk things over and try to get one more shot and see if they can even this thing up.
This is why it's so pivotal over here for the Spartans. You cannot change the pass. You cannot hang your head. You have 33.4 seconds to get one stop. All those extra hours, all those extra suicides you do in practice, this is where it pays off. You have a 1-goal lead. Your backs are against the wall. You're being tested. This Bears team is trying to come in from New York and deliver a blow on your home field. This is where the Spartans define themselves. Let's see if they can really deliver what they've worked so hard to accomplish.
I want to take this opportunity to remind you of our next broadcast of UT Men's Lacrosse. It will be 1 week from tomorrow on Saturday afternoon, March 3rd, at 1 p.m. start at North Greenville. Comes in to provide the opposition before UT will go on the road for 2 straight. And if you're watching from an NYT perspective, your team's next game is the day after tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, when the Bears play at St. Leo.
Thanks again, everybody, for joining us. We're ready to resume. I mean, this game has been back and forth as expected. Let's do it.
And with it now is Matt Chandenchuk for the Bears. Across the UT line, has room. Nice play defensively there.
Eye on the clock, 15 seconds, folks. Winding down.
And working with it is Matt Murphy. Pass connects. And they're trying to get a good look.
We got 5 seconds.
And the shot's going to have to be taken here. And they just get it off on a save made by Borowski. As time expires and the Spartans run out on the field.
And ladies and gentlemen, the final score of 10-9, Tampa wins the game.
As the Spartans defense did a tremendous job in really
On behalf of both the University of Tampa and the New York Institute of Technology, thank you for coming out to tonight's game. The Spartans will be back in action on Saturday, March 3rd. They welcome the Crusaders.
Amazing individual defense by everybody. Everybody was grilled and grilled. Nobody was giving any space to any Bear attacker. And as you mentioned, Bruce, they couldn't even get a shot off until less than 2 seconds, in which they came up short. Give credit to the Spartans. They had their backs against the wall. They had a resilient Bear unit against them, and they came and responded to every Bear attack. And that's why they're victorious, 10-9.
You got to believe that Tampa coach Rory Whipple is going to say to his troops, it's great that we got the win. It's great that we had them at the end there. Let's build from that. Let's not take it down to the final seconds in these coming games. So the final score tonight, Tampa defeats NYIT 10-9. The Spartans improve to 4-0. NYIT falls to 1-2. I'm Bruce Wozniak for Connor Moore. Thank you very much for joining us here on TampaSpartans.tv. Good night.
Awesome. Wow, what a game. Wow, it was a pleasure. That was awesome.
That was exciting.
That was just great. I mean, I knew this team was talented. I didn't think they were going to get that much of a run. I thought, as you mentioned, once you got to those 3-goal leads, I thought they were kind of, were going to cave in a little bit.
Yeah, give them credit for not giving up.
Spartans look good, though. I mean, Q is whew. Junior is playing lights out. Borowski has some clutch saves at the end.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
We had a great crowd as well on hand. I knew there was also a baseball game tonight, so that's why I was
Was
uncertain.
there?
Yeah, at 6 o'clock, so I wasn't sure if it was going to